like a nerd type.
Well, no, I think he feels like his career, Quando's career, has been affected.
If you've been following along, you're already aware that Lil Durk was recently arrested. His longtime rival, Quando Rondo, wasted no time in making a statement. The two have been at odds for years, in the same industry, playing the same game, but they've always been on opposing sides. Now that Durk is behind bars, Quando is stepping up in a way that has fans wondering why. Shortly after Durk's arrest, Quando released a TR titled Life Goes On, in which he confesses his regrets and laments the loss of a loved one due to gun violence. He raps with lyrics, "Life moves on, and after losing a friend a few years ago, I understand how you feel. I cry now, for real," instead of concentrating on Durk's legal issues. The drama didn't end there, though, as an old message exchange between Quando and Durk recently came to light, revealing a time when Quando allegedly attempted to put an end to their beef. The leaked texts show Quando reaching out, frustrated about how their feud has already taken from him. His career was being impacted by the competition. "We need to communicate because these ideas are getting out of control. I have to feed my people." Durk's reply was succinct and contemptuous. "Stay safe. Come on, since you know I'm not afraid of anything, but we may ruin this for social media." "I don't believe that, big bro. What you on? Why you contact me?" Durk said icily, answering, "Do what you do, you good folks 100%." Still, Quando wouldn't let it go. "As I stated, Durk shut it down once again. Avoid danger by refusing to back off. Continues since this isn't the first time their feud has been publicly shown. Big bro, hit my phone or let me contact you. I'm not online and I won't film it. I just want to chat." Durk already discussed Quando and the passing of King Vo in an interview with DJ Academic, making his position plain. However, many are questioning whether Quando's remarks after Durk's arrest are sincere or just well-timed. "When a real gonga get took out be like in a type, well no I think he feel like his." Quando Rondo's life and career have taken a serious hit due to recent events. It all started when Lil Durk gave an interview where he seemed to suggest that a so-called nerd was responsible for the murder of King Von. Quando Rondo didn't stay silent for long. He quickly fired back with a cryptic but aggressive tweet, though it's still unclear exactly what he meant by it. However, this situation has taken a much darker turn. Authorities are now investigating Lil Durk for his possible involvement in a larger conspiracy, one that allegedly included a murder-for-hire plot targeting Quando Rondo himself. Reports suggest that a group referred to as the Nerds suffered 7 casualties last year, though the details remain murky. The situation escalated even further when, on October 24th, Lil Durk was arrested. He was taken into custody and is currently being held in Broward County, Florida, without bail. According to law enforcement sources, Durk had been attempting to flee before his arrest. He had booked 3 separate flights, one to Italy, one to Switzerland, and another to Dubai. But his real plan, investigators say, was to escape on a private jet, hoping to avoid detection altogether. It seems Durk had good reason to be suspicious. Just before his arrest, 4 of his closest family members were also taken into custody. Prosecutors now claim that members of Durk's OTF, only the family, crew had been plotting revenge for King Von's murder since 2022. Their target? Quando Rondo. According to the prosecution, OTF members were promised cash and record deals as part of the setup. But the plan ultimately failed, and instead of taking out Quando Rondo, the hitmen mistakenly killed his cousin, known by the nickname LOLPOB. This shocking turn of events led to a federal investigation, and court documents reveal that 5 individuals have been named as key players in the alleged plot. In a Los Angeles courtroom, federal prosecutors presented evidence showing that OTF members had used a credit card linked to the group to purchase flights to California on August 18, 2022. Their mission? To track down Quando Rondo. What happened next remains unclear, but law enforcement officials believe they were actively hunting him. Whether they plan to confront him publicly or ambush him in secret is unknown, but it's obvious that tensions between these rival groups had reached a deadly level. Authorities are now digging deeper into the case, trying to determine just how far this conspiracy went and who else might have been involved. If these allegations are proven true, it could mean serious legal trouble for Lil Durk and his associates. Some sources even speculate that this case could lead to federal RICO charges, similar to what happened with other high-profile rap groups in the past. As for Quando Rondo, he has yet to make any detailed public statements about the situation. However, it's clear that he is shaken by what has happened, especially after losing his cousin in what appears to be a botched assassination attempt. Fans and followers of both artists are watching closely, waiting to see how this case unfolds. With so many moving pieces, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. The rap industry has seen its fair share of beefs, but this situation has escalated to a dangerous level, with real lives lost and the possibility of long prison sentences ahead for those involved. For now, all eyes are on the courts, where prosecutors are working to build their case. Whether Lil Durk will be found guilty or if he'll manage to clear his name remains to be seen. One thing is clear: the streets and the music industry will never be the same.
So crazy though. Whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just not what I want, do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro.
Bro got out what?
You know that
Name after this. Prosecutors claim that Lil Durk gave direct orders to his crew through iCloud messages, warning them not to make any payments that could be traced back to them before carrying out the attack. To make sure everything went smoothly, a man named Grant Vonnie reportedly flew in from Miami on a private jet to oversee the entire operation. Once in town, Vonnie rented 2 cars, a white BMW sedan and a white Infiniti, so they could blend in with the surroundings and avoid suspicion. For 2 days, the group carefully monitored Quando Rondo's movements, studying his daily routine and looking for the perfect opportunity to strike. After finalizing their plan, they decided to ambush a black Escalade, believing that Quando was inside. But something went terribly wrong. Instead of hitting their intended target, they mistakenly shot and killed Lul Po, one of Quando's close relatives. The botched attack not only cost an innocent life but also exposed the group's actions to law enforcement, who had already been keeping an eye on Durk and his crew. Prosecutors believe that Durk knew the authorities were closing in on him. Before his arrest, he allegedly attempted to book multiple flights in an effort to leave the country. His destinations included Italy, Switzerland, and Dubai, but investigators suspect his real plan was to flee in a private jet without leaving any traceable evidence behind. Law enforcement had been building their case for months, using wiretaps, surveillance, and undercover informants to gather evidence. But one of the most shocking discoveries was that someone from Durk's own crew, someone he deeply trusted, had been secretly cooperating with the authorities. This wasn't just a low-level associate, it was someone Durk had considered family. Court records reveal that this informant provided critical details about the conspiracy, including the planning, the attack, and Durk's alleged threats against potential witnesses. Prosecutors say Durk was determined to silence anyone who might testify against him, attempting to intimidate them into staying quiet. The betrayal is especially surprising given Durk's history with this individual. In his music, he had rapped about loyalty, brotherhood, and lifting up those close to him. On the album Loyal Brothers, he even spoke about helping this person get back on their feet when they were struggling. They had appeared in music videos together and shared personal moments, making this turn of events all the more shocking. Now, the biggest question remains: will Lil Durk be able to fight these charges and clear his name, or has his own inner circle already sealed his fate? With witness testimony, surveillance footage, and digital evidence stacking up against him, the outcome of this case is uncertain. The rap world has seen its fair share of legal battles, but this one is different. It involves high-profile figures, serious federal charges, and an alleged murder-for-hire plot that could change the trajectory of several careers forever. Fans and critics alike are watching closely, waiting to see if Durk will walk free or if this case will mark the downfall of one of hip-hop's biggest stars.
Hey bro, like, before the money, you know what I'm saying? That was bro. Like, I remember when the money wasn't there, just me say you 50, I'm like, I got you.
For now, all eyes are on the courtroom, where the legal battle is just beginning. The truth will come out, one way or another. The same man Durk backed has now been revealed as an informant, or as the streets refer to it, a snitch. This former associate, known as OTF Jam, reportedly received about $50,000 from Durk while openly praising their friendship. In a previous interview, Jam talked about how Durk had always supported and been loyal to him, but it appears that he was giving the feds information behind the scenes. And my whole time in jail, that stay bro like before the money, you know what I'm saying, that was bro like I remember when. I'm going to say you have $50. I got you, La Jam. He was welcomed into the family OTF right away after being released from prison in 2022 after completing a 12-year term, but court records indicate that he could have made a deal with the authorities while interacting with the gang while wearing a wire. Legal documents attest to Jam's close communication with federal officials, who seem to have first-hand knowledge of its operations. Lil Durk is listed as co-conspirator 1 and Jam as co-conspirator 2 in the indictment. Prosecutors claim that, prior to the attempted attack on Quando Rondo, Durk personally ordered a hit and placed a price on his target. Those who carried out the task were supposedly rewarded with money, recording deals, and other incentives. Authorities now believe that Durk was determined to exact revenge for the death of his close friend King Vo, a key figure in OTF, who was shot and killed outside an Atlanta nightclub in 2020. Investigations later revealed that L. Tim, a Quando Rondo affiliate, was responsible. Scheme of retribution against Quando while planning the tension between Quando and Lil Durk has been building for years. Interestingly, it didn't even start with them. Rather, it was the result of a larger rap rivalry that eventually turned deadly. Street violence is nothing new, and many people wonder what fueled such intense hatred between Quando and Durk to the point where neither seemed to mind seeing the other or their affiliates dead for Durk. It's difficult to say exactly when their feud began, but it all began in November 2020 when King Varf was killed. At the time, King Varf was signed to Lil Durk's OTF, while Quando Rondo was associated with NBA YoungBoy's Never Broke Again. This tragedy was a part of an ongoing power struggle within the Chicago rap scene, with both camps representing different factions. NBA team earlier that year, online rumors of hostility between OTF and the NBA had started to circulate, but when V was seen spending time with an NBA young child, things became more heated. Former partner Jania Mezel, even though Vo maintained that the pictures were innocuous and that they were only creating music together, they caused controversy. When allegations started to circulate, an NBA youngster took offense, and Rondo, a devoted NBA affiliate, came to his label boss's rescue. In an interview with DJ Academics on November 5, 2020, just one day before he passed away, King Vo finally made the decision to set the record straight. He addressed the rumors about his supposed feud with an NBA youngster, and what he said next would inadvertently establish the groundwork for one of the deadliest rap feuds in recent memory. Oh no, there isn't any rap rivalry, and it isn't any actual beef until someone was shot or anything. Regretfully, it took less than 24 hours for King Von's remarks to come back to haunt him at 2:15 a.m. Outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, Georgia, on November 6, 2020, Varf and his entourage got into a heated argument with Quando Rondo's crew. What began as a disagreement swiftly turned into a deadly shootout, entangling law enforcement officers in the chaos. By the time it was all over, 6 people had been shot, 3 of whom had died from their wounds after being taken to the hospital in critical condition despite efforts to save him. At one point, one of Quando Rondo's crew members was arrested in connection with King Von's death. The man in question, Timothy Lol Tim Leaks, was just 22 years old at the time. However, after nearly 2 years of legal battles, the murder charges against him were dropped under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. This decision sparked controversy, but it also aligned with what Rondo and his supporters had been saying all along. Surveillance footage from outside the nightclub that night appeared to support Rondo's camp's version of events. According to those close to Rondo, the video showed King Von throwing the first punch, initiating the fight. This evidence reinforced their claim that Rondo and his crew had acted in self-defense rather than aggression. Years later, the incident still haunts Rondo. During an interview on the No Jumper podcast, which aired on April 16, he spoke about the intense criticism and hatred he continues to receive following King Von's death. "I was messed up, and I ain't ever gonna be the same," Rondo admitted. He recalled feeling caught off guard that night, completely unprepared for what happened. More than anything, he said, he was afraid for his life. Despite the fact that he and his team were ultimately cleared of any wrongdoing in the shooting, Rondo has remained a target for King Von's fans and associates. He continues to face backlash, with many people blaming him for Von's death, regardless of the legal outcome. When asked how he feels about the ongoing criticism, Rondo didn't hold back. "I don't give a __ about them," he said bluntly. "They weren't my fans in the first place." However, when pressed about the details of that night, he was hesitant to talk. "I don't even want to go back to that," he responded. He seemed uninterested in rehashing the tragic event, making it clear that he has tried to move on. Still, he did share one final thought. "Man, listen," he said. "When God calls you home, you gotta go, brother." His words suggested that he saw Von's death as something that was out of his hands, something destined to happen no matter what. Interestingly, Rondo insists that he never had any personal issues with Lil Durk before all of this. According to him, there was no real tension between them until the events of that night changed everything. But after Von's death, Rondo found himself caught in the middle of a dangerous situation. What truly ignited the ongoing feud between him and Durk, however, wasn't just the shooting itself. It was everything that followed: the accusations, the threats, and the lingering hostility between both sides. The situation escalated beyond just a rap beef. It became personal, with both camps seemingly unable to let go of the past. Now, years later, the tension still hasn't faded. Despite Rondo's attempts to distance himself from the situation, the shadow of that night continues to follow him. Whether he will ever be able to fully move on remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: King Von's death left a permanent mark on everyone involved. Tim Rondo's unrepentant attitude toward Von's murder, from his contemptuous tone in interviews to his open support for LOL, has caused controversy time and time again. Only months after the shooting, he celebrated his friendship with leakers on Instagram by posting pictures of matching iced-out watches with the caption, "But that wasn't all." A week earlier, Rondo had already angered King Von's fans when he made fun of a late rapper during a virtual concert. At one point, he was caught without that pole. Over the years, Quando Rondo hasn't held back when it comes to his feelings about Lil Durk. In a 2023 interview with Dirty Glove Bastard, he made it clear that he has no respect for Durk. At one point, he even made a shocking statement: "I'll urinate on his grave." During the same interview, Rondo spoke about his mindset when it comes to his own safety. "We blessed us angels," he said. "But on God, I ain't trying to die for Durk. I'm not. I'ma keep it real." It was clear that he wasn't interested in going to war over the ongoing beef. However, his loyalty to his close friend Lil Tim remained unwavering. Sitting next to Tim during the interview, Rondo turned to him and said, "If I knew I had to lay my life down for this man right now, on God, I would. Because I know he'd do the same for me." His words showed just how much he valued the brotherhood they shared, especially after everything they had been through together. Even after King Von's tragic death, the tension between Lil Durk and Quando Rondo continued to be a major topic among fans. But things took a violent turn on August 19, 2022. That night, while at a gas station in Los Angeles, Quando Rondo and his cousin Lil Pab were ambushed. According to reports, a white car suddenly pulled up beside them. Before they could react, 3 armed men jumped out and opened fire. The scene quickly turned chaotic. Lieutenant John Radke of the LAPD initially stated that it was unclear why the attack had happened, as both men appeared to just be pumping gas when the shooting began. Quando Rondo managed to escape the attack without any injuries, but Lil Pab wasn't as lucky. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, fighting for his life. Sadly, he didn't make it. The news of his passing sent shockwaves through Rondo's circle. At first, confusion spread online, with some reports mistakenly claiming that Rondo had also been shot. The rumors sent his fans into a panic, but his team quickly stepped in to set the record straight. They released a statement confirming that Rondo was safe and unharmed, but they asked for privacy as he grieved the loss of his cousin. 2 days later, Quando Rondo broke his silence. Taking to Instagram, he posted an emotional tribute to Lil Pab, expressing his heartbreak over losing someone so close to him. Though he didn't say much, the pain in his words was undeniable. Losing Lil Pab was another devastating blow in a life already filled with tragedy. It was clear that, no matter how much Rondo tried to move on, the violence surrounding him wasn't slowing down. And with his long-standing feud with Lil Durk still unresolved, many feared that this wouldn't be the last time shots were fired. For now, Quando Rondo continues to live with the weight of everything that has happened. He's seen friends and family members lose their lives, and he's constantly reminded that in his world, survival isn't guaranteed. Whether he can truly leave the past behind remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, he will never forget the ones he's lost along the way. Along with a photo of LOL Poe, while video of Rondo's emotional response at the site went viral. It showed him yelling no in agony as his cousin lay dead, which fueled rumors about the shooting's circumstances rather than expressing sorrow. Lil Durk took use of the occasion to make fun of his opponent in his song, "Y'all laughed when bro died, but when your bro died you turned to a crybaby." Durk utilized a sample of Quando Rondo's cries from the viral clip and took direct aim at him in the lyrics. Tracked by March 2023, the two rappers were at each other's throats once more, this time over conflicting album release dates. When Lil Durk reportedly admitted to ordering the hit on Quando Rondo rapping, their feud was no longer subtle, and other rappers began to weigh in, taking sides and intensifying tensions. "One more month, I put my heart into this album, seeing a lot of blood, sweat and tears, and I lost my right hand man. Before my eyes I cherish you. I'm going all out for you, big buddy." Lil Durk responded soon after, downplaying Rondo's significance in his Instagram story. "I could release this song and shut down the streets, but your release date isn't certain, son." Although the anger temporarily subsided, it was rekindled 2 months later when Durk appeared on the DJ Academics Off the Record podcast in May 2023. Rondo took offense and swiftly slapped back Dro, saying that we were all on time. Thought about King Von's death and said it changed everything. He then made fun of Von's alleged killer, Lol Tim, saying that when a real gangster is killed by a nerd, he then denigrated Quando Rondo. After hearing Lil Durk's interview, Rondo responded with a chilling message on Twitter, hinting at the bloody toll their rivalry had already taken and raising fears that more violence might be coming. However, it appears that Quando Rondo's recent conversion. Since adopting to Islam, the rapper has changed his course and notably distanced himself from his long-running battle with Durk, suggesting a potential turning point in his life. Meanwhile, Rondo has retreated, and things have taken a turn for the worst for Lil Durk. The rapper is presently behind bars on federal murder for hire accusations connected to Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Poab's killing under federal law. The punishment for murder for hire varies according on the specifics. If found guilty, Durk may be sentenced to life in prison or possibly death. These were highlighted at the Foundation Award ceremony, but not everyone was happy. When the event's aftermath hit social media, some fans expressed their disapproval, asking why a rapper with a reputation for violent lyric fraud was receiving such a prestigious honor. One user wrote, "They keep giving these rappers keys to the city then end up taking them back. If this is who they are celebrating, then they have no right to complain about the violence in their neighborhoods on October 25th. Although the American legal system gives everyone the presumption of innocence, our village has an even higher standard of behavior and we cannot be associated with people facing such serious allegations." After the U.S. Marshals arrested Lil Durk in Broward County, Florida, in 2024, the mayor of Broadview, revoked his honorary key and severed all ties with his local Heroes Foundation. Many now believe Bellwood may soon follow suit, depriving Durk of his second key to the city, but Broadview adopted a hardline position. When asked if he intended to return the $150,000 donation Durk made to his campaign, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson took a more measured stance during a press conference, refusing to condemn Durk and claiming that Lil Durk's heart has been in the right place because he has been dedicated to financial literacy for children and making important investments in our city.